What's going on, guys? Danny or Wi-Fi Astronaut back here again today for another video. Today we're going to be talking about virtual assistants, what they are, when to get them, how much to pay them, how to get them. We're going to talk about all that. Let's get straight into it. So, as many of you have probably heard of virtual assistants, it's kind of like a buzzword going on, VA, get a VA, have VA do it. You have VAs. You're going to hear VA, virtual assistant, a ton in the Amazon and just general online e-commerce kind of circles and areas such as like Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or wherever. But you really need to understand what a VA is, especially in, how the way I run it and how I know a lot of other people run it. A VA or another employee, they're just an employee, right? They're just meant to replicate you and do things, that you're able to do, but have them do it so you can do it at scale. And you continue scaling and have them do different tasks that maybe you don't want to do. So it's essentially just an employee. A virtual assistant, in the way that everyone looks at it in e-com, is usually a Filipino employee. And the reason why they're so attractive to our companies based in the United States is you're able to pay them wages between like $2 and $5 an hour because of the exchange rate. And it may sound terrible paying someone $2 or $3 an hour, but that's a sustainable wage for them. They can live a good life on $3 an hour. That's just kind of how it works. It's a good exchange rate for them and for us, obviously, and it works out on both sides. So you're able to, you could be paying the wage of 5 VAs for the cost of 1 U.S. employee. So that's why it can seem a lot more attractive to companies, that I run, that I'm sure you guys run, like Amazon Ecom, to have an overseas, Filipino or Indian or Middle Eastern VA, a virtual assistant. Now, when should you get a VA? So I don't recommend just like starting and like hiring a VA and just telling him or her to just like go source, right? I think that you should be able to do the sourcing or the listing or whatever you want the VA to do. You should be able to do that yourself first. All of that should be able to done by you first, because you need to know how it should be done correctly, and especially how you want it done. So for sourcing, you need to know how to properly source first before you can hire a VA and any employee in general and tell them to go source. And the same thing with listing or other, like maybe Amazon wholesale research. All of that you need to know how to do first before you can go hire a VA to do it. So I would recommend, at least 1 or 2 months grinding it, really in the weeds, learning, consuming a lot of content on and figuring out how to do the things you want to do, and then eventually hand it over to a VA and then continue to scale up from there. So, once that is done, you're now in the process, you need to find a VA. So one of the best websites to use and the cheapest is onlinejobs.ph. The .ph stands for Philippines, I believe, but it's onlinejobs.ph, and you pretty much just create a posting and you will get hundreds of applications. So you need to be able to filter them quite quickly and find out who's not just spamming, applications, which VAs aren't just like sending an application to every single listing. So you need a quick way to filter to make sure they're actually reading it. So a good way to do that is on the listing itself, put in one of, like, as you write out the qualifications or what you want the VA to do, or kind of the, the general idea of what they're going to be doing, somewhere in there in the middle, maybe don't make it obvious. Make sure that they have to read to find it. Say, email, like send an email to X whatever at gmail.com, send it to this email, and in the subject line, put your favorite color or your favorite sports team or, your favorite YouTuber, something like that. Put something random so that if someone sends you an email and they don't have that in the subject line, you can quickly delete it. And then the next thing you can do is you can have them bring examples of work. So if you're trying to find a VA that is pre-trained or clearly has experience, and you're looking, let's say, for online arbitrage sourcing, in the job posting, please bring me 2 examples of profitable Amazon products and why they're profitable. And you can say, like, give me screenshots of Keepa or something like that, because usually they'll have these tools already. But you need to ask for something for them to bring you. And I highly recommend having them put something in the subject line just so that when you're filtering through them, you can easily just delete it. And if someone doesn't put it in the subject line, don't even look at it, just delete it. Because they didn't take the time of day to read your job listing. Why would you take the time of day to read their email? Just delete it, okay? If they didn't read the listing, they probably won't be as good as you need them to be. And the last thing here about virtual assistants, VAs, which is kind of new, is there are some services that are offering pre-trained VAs. I personally haven't used any of them yet. I plan on it, and I'll probably re-update this, maybe make another video after I do it. But there are services right now. I'll link some of them below. I'm not affiliated with any of them. I only know a couple, but pretty much they're VAs that are already trained up on Keepa and basic Amazon stuff, to my knowledge, so that you don't have to spend the time teaching a VA Keepa or, teaching them about different nuances with Amazon. Because, again, there is a learning curve, but once you hit it, it plateaus and you kind of understand it. And there's not that much more to learn in terms of the lingo and the language. So pretty much these programs, they cost between like $500 and $1,000, which, to be honest, is a pretty good deal. To have a VA that's fully trained on all the terms and the lingo and stuff. But I'm going to do one. Maybe I'll make a video on it. That's something you guys want, let me know below, and I'll update it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my little spiel on virtual assistants, VAs. They're a great tool, a necessary tool if you want to scale. It doesn't have to be a VA. It could be a U.S.-based employee or whatever country you're in based employee. But, VAs are a very cost-effective way to scale. Hard workers, and it's a win-win for everyone. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.